Oh. I wish you guys could see him just kind of flopping in my lap. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh.
See his snout just like, ha, ha, ha.
Alright, then he moves.
See you guys later.
Whatever. Alright, I know you'll just hop up here.
Might as well get it over with now. Who's a big baby?
What are you doing? Oh.
I just want to love you. I've been so lonely.
Dog cast.
Yeah.
Stop. Why do you gotta be right in my chops? Oh. Oh, you paw me in the face, I will bite you. What?
I just want to cuddle. Hello to everyone in chat.
God.
Oh, we got a lot of people here already.
Alright, down. Get. Come on. Stop, man. Get off of me. Stop it. Son of a bitch.
Welcome to the live stream, everybody.
Your laughing is consent. He doesn't know what to do.
Alright, enough. Down. Get down. Get down.
But
Stop it.
but I don't.
I will throw you into traffic. Get off of me.
True love.
Oh. I've been
my
slimed. Get her, Ray. Hello.
Hi. I don't really have anything to talk about at the beginning.
Hey, everyone's talking about smartwatches. Boom, 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 boom.
Ooh, what did you buy?
I didn't. I bought this thing last year. Remember that the watch?
Oh, that's right.
But ow. Gets my text messages and stuff while I'm out.
Oh, that watch is so smart.
It is. Gets the weather. I was thinking how awesome it would be to go golfing with Google glasses.
Oh, dude, that'd be sweet.
See,
Yeah,
that's a
but-
practical application for Google glasses.
Yeah.
Because I've been struggling to think of one, because everybody's like, but it'd be so cool. And I was like, for fucking what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
For stuff and things.
For things. I want to video record my commute. It's like nobody
Nobody wants
Like,
that.
cares about that.
I think it would be awesome to like have like a bad golfer like me use it. Like all the times like I'm nowhere near like the fairway, I'm in the trees, looking around for my ball. Like it'd be like the Blair Witch of golfing. Like I'd just be running through the woods.
Just like,
All this, you know, case in point, like one of the times I got caught up in barbed wire on, like in the trees, and just like kind of fell, like just boom, I hit the ground like a second. I just imagine what that would be like with a head-mounted camera. Like I just like it looked like I just got sniped,
it'd be like the
or
end of,
I stepped in a bear trap.
it'd be like the end of Cloverfield.
Thump thump.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, I think that'd be cool. And, like if it would have like the GPS synced up to the course, and you could have like the yardage display on it.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Like,
Like where
I think
you're
that'd
right where
be
you're
awesome.
looking.
Yep.
Yeah, like you could look at the fairway and say, "Oh, it's like 100 yards from right there."
Yeah. I mean, there's some practical applications for Google Glass, but there's not enough. Like, oh, I don't know where I'm going in a new city. Instead of sitting there looking at my phone, I can just look around and be like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
trans that way.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I'm really surprised like a heads-up display really hasn't taken off in cars.
Yeah,
Like
there's
just
that
like
one.
those-
There's that one that projects on the windshield. Who makes that? BMW or something?
I don't know, probably Mercedes or something. I don't know.
Probably some fancy
Yeah.
shit.
What I was thinking, like if you have like your windshield pops up and you have like it's synced to your GPS and it'll actually like have like as you're going by like each parcel like have like the address like as it's
Yeah.
going by. I
Yeah.
think would be far more helpful to find stuff.
yeah.
Because that's all I use my GPS for. Like, I just always have it on. I just use the numbers on the left and right side of the street so I know which side of the street to look on.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that kills me is they released the specs this week, and for some reason it's only wireless B and G. There's no wireless N for Wi-Fi, which makes
Weird.
no sense.
Unless they're trying to keep the price down.
Even then, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think N chips are still pretty expensive, though.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
What's that tech, like at least 5-6 years old, if not more now?
Well, yeah, I mean, but it only got ratified recently, so I think the newer chips, like the in-spec chips, are probably
More expensive. Yeah, that would make sense then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready as I'll ever be at this point.
Yeah, me too.
Here. All right.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to wake up here.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Oh, In6 Chunks asks, Boston, where's the jar of pee? I don't know. I went to grocery shopping. I got a giant ass bottle of water. I can fill it with pee later if you want. I'm here to serve. Pee. Alright, you guys ready? You guys know what you've been playing?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like you have a lot then.
I got a decent bit. It's not a lot, it's just extensive this week, as far as how much I played.
Okay. Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Over there's Knobs.
What?
And over there is the Hannah.
What's going on?
Games are going on, I guess. I don't know. This is gonna be real. This is gonna be a real interesting show. If this is your first episode listening to TVGP, please check out last week's episode. Let's get right into what you've been playing, Mr. Nobes.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead Monday night. Good time as always. Sorry you missed it, Hannah.
That's okay. I had a good reason, and I'll talk about it later.
Alright. Well, Donnie was in rare form, so...
of course he was.
And we had no live stream, so there is no record of it, but it was down to the wire, as usual with us. A lot of tanks real early. Like, real early. I don't think either one of us cracked 1,000 points for the map.
Ooh.
Like,
wow.
it was a rough time. Yeah, I think Team 2, I think my winning streak finally got broke. It was while we were at the, I think it was Swamp Fever, where the one you ended the boat, or at the plantation house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you like, as second the tank spawned, boom, gate was down, everyone's running for the exit. Like,
Nothing you could do.
and that was pretty much the difference. Like, we never had a chance to trigger the tank because we got held up in the house like something fierce. But
Wow.
good times, and man, we were just ruthless, just absolutely ruthless in that game.
Every
But it's
Monday
fun.
night, 10 p.m.
Please come join us because it is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Whether or not how bad we're getting beat or beating, it's fun for everybody. So it's good.
Yeah, and for those that are intimidated because it's been going on for years now at this point, anybody can start. I mean, Hannah just started.
Yeah, and I barely played the game. I mean, I played a bunch of the first one on PC, but playing it on 360 is a whole different beast. And man, I jumped in. I had no clue. Like, my first infected spawn was Spitter, and I'm like, what is this thing even
What do I
do? I've never even seen this thing in action.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's what it does. Oh, and I'm dead.
Yeah,
About
there is
3
really isn't much
seconds
time.
in.
There really isn't much time to sit there. So you do this. If you're out in the open, someone's walking by, you literally have like maybe a second to get behind cover before you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we are usually always on point, so it's a good time. I really like it. And if I can get Donnie to figure out how to play the game proficiently, I think anybody can do it with us. Played some more Alpha Protocol. I finally made it to Moscow.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Yeah, I think I got the achievement for preventing the riot this time instead of the assassination attempt. And man, did I cap that dude quick! I forgot how tough that boss fight was with the
Omen Dang.
Omen Dang. Yeah. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I think I used every grenade I had in that fight.
Wow.
I just chain shot twice.
I could every time I chain shot him, he just would just go dink and get out of my way of it. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Huh, that's weird.
So I got to Moscow and I did like one of these. It was kind of late at night, so I figured it's like, well, I'm just going to do the intel mission. So I go and talk to that guy at the bar, and it gave me the option to smash a glass, and I didn't know I was going to smash it across his face at this point.
Oh, that would have been good info to have.
That's awesome.
I was like, I smashed the glass. It's like, all right, I can see the point of that. And all of a sudden, he grabs one of those big bottles or a fifth of something. He just goes, boom! And guess what? He spilled everything after that.
Wow.
Man, that conversation went completely differently for me.
It went really I remember talking with that guy when I was playing, trying to play the angles and because he likes you to be more direct and stern with him. Like, he respects that. Is what I got the most information out of him. But when I just went all off, boom, with that, he just was like, all right, this is it. I don't want to be near you anymore, and just leave me alone. Like, I hope I never talk to you again. Like, it was bad. And after kind of lightly listening to last week's episode about us going Archer on this game, this is like Archer Rampage. Every time, because I've just been killing everybody around me, and I just in my head just hear Archer Rampage. But yeah, I've been having an absolute riot.
I need to keep playing that.
I have Mina full on hatred now. She's a -10.
Whoa.
Full on. And not only is it now, like before at a 9, it was a -5 on my cooldowns, now it's a -10.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, it really puts the screws to you a little bit. Thankfully, I'm playing this on easy to where it's really not that much of a threat, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's brutal.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, I can't wait to piss off these other people at this point. I really can't wait to see how this goes, because this has just been a joy.
Yeah, that's going to be my veteran playthrough. I want to have some extra points to back up the people, the skills for making these people angry.
I mean, if you're playing it on easy, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's such a small amount, like 5%, which on easy is just like, okay, they're not going to see me anyway, so what?
If I was playing on hardcore, that would be significant.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Yeah, you're like... I never really use the powers that much anyway, as much as I should. Like, outside of chain shot. Like, usually when I'm playing, I was like, oh, I have chain shot available. Okay. And I just wait for my opportunity to use it. Whereas, like, I'm never sitting around the corner waiting. It's like, God, recharge. I'm in trouble.
Well, I unfortunately discovered that Shadow Operative does not work on anything planted like mines or grenades or anything. Whoops. I was like, I'm just going to sneak. Boom! Nope.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been having a good time. I've been using EMP grenades a lot because I don't feel like doing the hacking games or anything. I just toss an EMP grenade, boom, doors open.
Yeah.
And I've been like I said, like the thing with the Archer Rampage, like instead of opening doors, I just put a boot on them now, like or I duck a shoulder, like I'm like charging through everything. So like stealth for me at this point doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm a rolling tank. I have like a full huge bar of shields, and my health is up to 175. So
ain't nothing stopping you.
Oh yeah. So if I get in trouble, like I really did something stupid.
Yeah.
Like I stood in front of a turret trying to hack it as it was shooting me. Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing has 360 view. So just pro tip.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
might not want to go up there. I downloaded and played Guacamelee for a little bit. Man, that game was glorious on the Vita.
That's where I've been playing it.
Oh,
man. That's a sharp-looking game. I fired it up on the PS3, and it looks good, but man, that Vita version.
Oh,
those colors really pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just the animations are just very crisp, and it just reminds you of like that old like Samurai Jack running around. It's kind of cool.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's so pretty.
I actually really like... We might as well just talk about Guacamelee since all three of us are playing it. I actually really like the cloud support. I like being able to go to the menu, hit options, and say upload to cloud or download to cloud. And it just works.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Like, that's really... Because I fired up on my Vita, made sure I walked in front of one of those altar things so it would autosave, uploaded it, fired it right up on my PS3 and downloaded it, and I was literally in front of that same altar. And it's like, yes, that's exactly how I want the cloud stuff to work at this point.
It is literally the coolest thing.
It's literally
literally
the coolest thing.
And Perkins. But yeah, no, like I didn't play too much of it. I just kind of went from the base world. I came up the thing, jumping around, and I went to the other thing. I was like, I got sidetracked by something else, and that's about as much as I played.
Yeah, I think my main menu, the main world map at this point says about 30%.
Okay.
Which I think takes into account how many secrets you've found. So I think at this point I'm well over halfway through the game.
Yeah. I am actually at the last boss fight. I got my Vita sitting right here.
Oh yeah, new Vita.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you. It's such a warm, welcoming family. I mean, they just tossed games in my lap.
Yeah.
So, but I'll talk about all that a little bit later. But Guacamelee it's awesome. If you've got the $15 to spend on it, buy it because it's a fantastic game.
And if you have PlayStation Plus, I think it's only 12.
Yeah, it's only 12 right
it's
now on PS
cross-buy,
Plus.
so
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had like $15 or $16 sitting in my wallet. I was like, oh, well, this made this decision really easy.
It's a no-brainer.
But I'm really liking this game because it's the same formula. It's the go through the game, get powers, but they kind of give them to you in a slightly different order than you'd expect. Because normally in a lot of these games, you get a double jump really early in the game, like maybe a quarter to a third of the way through the game. I don't think I got the actual double jump until about 2/3 through the game.
Yeah, wow. I don't think I'm even at that point. I do have chicken magic though, which is awesome.
Yes. Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
that is fantastic. You just swipe down on the screen and chicken.
Yep.
But the powers you do get are the combo system's really good.
It's surprisingly deep.
Yeah, and I mean, I've at this point I've also bought everything that altar, the save points. You can also purchase stuff, and most of it's heart pieces or stamina pieces. But there's also moves you can buy there, and I've bought all those moves. And as I start incorporating those into the fighting that I do, and it makes the game way not only more fun, but you get through these battles faster with a higher combo, and you get more money.
I think it's really interesting because most Metroidvania games you get some sort of skill that allows you to open a door or something or get past something you couldn't get past before, but I can't think of ones that I've played before where they are combat moves too, because I think the very first one you get is to smash through red blocks, and it's an uppercut. And at that point you can just uppercut dudes into a combo, you can uppercut dudes in the air. It's really, and every one you get after that is different, and you can migrate that into your combos, which is really great because you're not using the same 3-button combo through the entire game. You're trying to get your multiplier up so you get more money and you get faster stuff and you get better combos. It's really interesting.
Well, and the best part about those combo moves, not only are they used in combat, but you use them in platforming as well, because that uppercut becomes your sort of temporary double jump before you get the actual one.
Yeah, and those platforming sections can be kind of a bitch. In a positive way.
You have no idea
Yeah.
how ridiculous they get.
Yeah,
because I just found some of the secret areas where it's like, hey, there's this little special thing that you can get up at the top here, but you're going to have to go through a platforming nightmare to get there.
Yeah, I kind of like that, because a lot of these Metroidvania games, when you get to a platforming section, it's just, well, jump up this corridor, or, jump over this lava. Ooh, that was so tough. Oh. But this one, I mean, it's genuinely challenging.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to give away the other powers you get, because I don't know if it falls into spoilers, but it's a nice little surprise to have as you go throughout the game. Yeah. But you get basically the circle button is sort of your special move button, and you kind of get one for every direction.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, nice.
So you get the up is the uppercut, and you have one for the sides and one that's like a downward smash.
One for neutral.
Yeah, and then there's one for neutral as well. And, you're breaking all sorts of different blocks with these things, and it's just, man, this game is an absolute blast, and I'm actually kind of sad. Like I'm probably like 7-8 hours in. Like I've played way too much of this game this week, but
Yeah.
I'm really really happy with it. I mean, it was like $12, and I still got like a full 8 to 10 hour game, depending on how long
Yeah.
this last boss fight takes me. And then you can still go back and find all the secrets and stuff because I know I haven't found all of them.
Well, and especially since they mark them all on the map, that helps
Yes.
a huge amount.
Yeah.
And I actually really like the writing in the game.
Yeah,
there's
it's
very
definitely not
little
bad.
voice acting, but the writing is solid.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, and a lot of the background stuff is just hilarious. It's
Yeah.
old, like not even old memes, but like relatively new memes from the internet.
Yeah.
You've got, I mean, there's just blatant video game references, like the Chuzo statues
Yeah.
that you smash to get your powers. That
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one so far is the there's like an advertisements for churros, and
Yeah.
it's an old meme of the dude with like all the cigarettes. Like, gentlemen.
The gentleman one. Yeah, it's
Nice.
all interesting because I know a lot of people have been turned off by the memes, and I sort of wish that either Kotaku or Joystick posted that that sort of infamous article about here's what the meme is, here's where it is in the game. I sort of wish they hadn't done that because a lot of the memes are there's one about Destructoid versus Giant Bomb, and they're both like both of those mascots are dressed up as luchadors in the world, and it looks like sort of a luchador, this one versus this one sort of upcoming fight poster. So it all feels like it's in the world. There's like a Grumpy Cat salsa advertisement.
Yeah.
Like it's all kind of in-world stuff, and it is kind of funny even though they're memes. I know a lot of people want to get turned off on memes almost immediately, but
Yeah.
I think it's a good touch.
It's a
keeps
fresh twist on it.
Yeah, it keeps the world a little more interesting.
Yeah.
It makes it a little relevant too.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's even some spots where like there's some real subtle stuff. Like I think in one of the temples I saw some Space Invaders embedded in like the stonework,
Yeah.
which that's awesome.
It is
a good,
awesome.
There's a good Donkey Kong one outside of one of the temples too.
Oh, nice! I'll have to look for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just having an absolute blast with this game. I can definitely see me playing it again, in short order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to get into it. I think this might lead into like a platformer rabbit hole on my actual Vita because I really want to play Outworld, but I just really don't want to sit on play it on my TV.
Yeah.
Like I think that fidelity on that would be amazing on the Vita.
Are you thinking Outland or Outworld?
Outworld or Land? It's the one with the red and blue guy.
Outland. Yes, actually, I meant to mention that.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one it's really when you get slightly later in the game, there's like you switch between worlds in Guacamelee, and it reminded me so much of Outland.
Oh, yeah.
Like, switching between the red and the blue.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the new like hot mechanic for Metroidvania games.
Yeah, that's the last skill I got, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really like what I played at Outland. I probably got maybe halfway through it, and I just kind of like petered out. And,
Yeah.
Like I always meant to go back, it just never really crossed my mind to.
Yeah, I actually ended up beating that one a while back, but I really, really enjoyed it. It was probably one of my top. What was that, 2010, 2011?
Yeah.
That came out. It was one of my
Something like
top
that.
games that year. It was really good.
It was really good. I really like that art style, that real Aztec-y kind of very, very heavy color saturation choices on it. But
Yeah.
but anyway, lastly, I played this week was I caved. 'Cause apparently, I could be talked into buying anything. I bought Injustice.
Ooh. Okay.
Because somebody asked you to.
One person, probably like, dude, did you pick up Injustice yet? And I was like, fine, I'm going to the store.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
That was literally, and then he was never on to play with. So,
Oh, lame.
so I sat down. I picked it up Saturday, probably around 11 o'clock in the morning, and I pretty much played that all day until probably 3 or 4. I finished it up last night, the story mode, and that was really good. It was really cool. I wish you had a chance to play more of the villains. Like you had, it wasn't so much like Mortal Kombat where you played as everybody at one point. Like you double dip a few times, you play Batman a few times, you play Superman a couple times.
Yeah.
my favorite character was a huge surprise to me that I would just gravitate towards them.
Don't say Aquaman.
Yes.
Oh man.
No.
Aquaman is a tank.
He does have that really cool. What are the special moves called? The ones where
I wish I just played. I'd have no idea.
the one he has with the shark, where he basically skewers you and a shark eats you. It's awesome.
The thing I like the best about that one, Batman's really cool too. But my favorite thing about Aquaman's is like he just kind of stands and puts the trident in the ground, and this wave just envelops everything.
Yeah, I actually really like the flashes where he runs around the world to uppercut you in the face.
Where that yellow beam goes around the world for momentum. It's so cool. Superman's is all right. Luthor's is pretty cool. I still need to see a few more of them. Actually, I haven't seen them all yet. So I really like Batman's because he tases you and hits you with the Batarang, and then like before he does any of that, like he does some stuff on his wrist, and you hear the Batmobile just take off, and then as you get tased and then you get Batarang, he just does this beautiful backflip. As like the things coming, or as the Batmobile's coming behind you, backflips over top of it, and you get rammed with the Batmobile.
Yeah, so many cool, just like way over the top in the way you want them to be.
Nice.
Oh yeah, with especially like Green Lantern, you end up on Oa, and he's just throwing all this stuff at you, all these constructs and things. It's really, really, really good.
I really like the alternate costumes. Like Green Lantern's alternate is the Yellow Lantern.
Yes.
Which is a totally different dude with totally different voice acting. It's just like,
well,
what?
yeah, it's the guy from what's that show? Firefly. He's one of the Baldwin kid. What's his name?
Adam Baldwin.
Adam Baldwin. He does his voice. I was like, I know that voice.
I know that guy.
It's Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I'm not gonna say it was bad. It doesn't really have that. I don't know.
That oomph.
It's missing that thing that Mortal Kombat had so well.
Is it? Do you think it's because you don't have a natural affinity for the DC characters?
I really don't care. And I got that message with Harlow because I saw him play when it came out from Bamfcast. Like I was like, so how is it? He's like, well, it's really good. And I was like, yeah, but I really just don't care what's going on in this world. And then I find out in the game it's an actual parallel universe what Superman took over.
Of course it is, because it's DC.
Yeah.
Right, but that makes no mention. They make no mention of that in the comic. None at all. None of them like that Batman pulled all the heroes from this timeline into his. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I mean the story mode plays out really well. That alternate universe Superman is a major D.
Yeah.
I mean major. But yeah, I mean it all fits the canon of that universe very, very well. I do like it. I did like playing it. I'm not gonna lie. I did have fun, and like especially how unbelievably badass Aquaman is.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me.
Nice.
Because as a character, I just don't like at all.
Nobody likes Aquaman.
Nobody likes
Aquaman. People taking cheap shots about him losing his hand at one point. And,
He's the Ringo of the DC universe.
Oh.
But I didn't like it. I never expected him to be so powerful, and he's just it moves great in that universe. Like he reminds me. Honestly, he probably reminds me plays a lot like Johnny. Like very short, deliberate moves, and always does damage. Always. Like I had a lot of problems trying to. Like I had more problems with playing as Superman. His moveset just didn't make any sense to me. A couple other characters, Green Lanterns was difficult to figure out. Like a whole bunch of them were just kind of off. A lot of the short term QTE things were a lot of fun too. Like you have one where the Joker where you're flinging cards at who was it? I don't know if it was Deathstrike or somebody. Deathstroke. Sorry, folks.
Sorry, don't send angry letters too.
Isn't his name Slade? Anybody? Teen Titans?
Sure.
You're digging a little deeper than I know.
that gets referenced in there a little. A lot of Teen Titans stuff gets referenced in this pretty quickly.
Nice.
But yeah, it's it was just cool.
It sounds like just a solid NetherRealms fighting game.
I tell you what, I mean, the thing that I liked the best about it was the look of it is fantastic. A lot of the multi-stage things were amazing, and grabbing stuff out of the background and bashing people with it was really, really nice and very, very huge in gameplay.
And it's always surprising to see where it's like, oh, you grabbed that statue back there and threw it. I mean,
you just
I didn't even know about
a spinning back kick, and you're bouncing off of something in the background and and you just kind of turn and watch him come back in, and you can juggle him off of that.
It's really crazy because you think of everything in the background of a fighting game just being stage decorations, but in this game, it's stuff you can throw at the enemy.
Oh, like I don't remember if you could do it, but like I know I jumped off his head a couple times. But there's this giant statue of Superman in the background. But as the fight's going on, the stage is getting more jacked up. The thing falls down. You see this big boulder coming at you. It's Superman's head, and at some point you can do like a dodge jump around the character to get to the other side of him.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Like one of the levels had a teleportation thing.
Yeah.
Which, like every time in a teleportation, it always hangs me out to dry. But it's still cool that it's a fact that it's there. Like in the Fortress of Solitude, like this thing where you kick the guy into the wall and he comes out another thing on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really cool. I did like the look of it. I thought the like that title screen with the real close-up still shots of everything was awesome.
Really sharp looking.
The whole design of the game is really good. I do like the way the fights are set up. That it's not so deliberate. Round 1, round 2. That if you have 2 levels to your health bar, you have a silver level and a red level. But your health doesn't regenerate for the second round. So you have all your silver and all your red before you're done.
Yeah.
So you can really, like if you have like kind of a 50-50 match where you just edge him out, you can get a couple hits in before that third round to make him weaker going into the last part of the battle.
Yeah, it's really neat. There's only like a short pause between the 2 health bars, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not real like ready fight. Like it's just boom, you're into it and it's down. The guy does like a short like pumped up animation, and you're back into the fight.
Yeah.
Like, oh nuts, I gotta go this again.
Oh
like,
nuts.
Yeah. I'd really like to play a couple people because I'd really like to see how strong my Aquaman is, because right now I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of the combos alone that I've seen strung together, not just by the PC but by myself too. Man, does that game lend itself to juggling. And brutally, like you can literally combo someone's total health bar away real fast.
Nice.
And the big X-ray overdrive, what have you moves are roughly about a quarter health, but so timing those out is really important because you don't want to burn it when he's got a little bit of health left on that first bar. So it's a little more strategic. The EX moves are a lot easier to do. Like it's in combo. You just you have your power meter burn, which is right trigger. So like in the middle of like a special move, you can hit it towards like the back half of it, and there's a very quick prompt for it before it comes up. Like everything's prompted, by the way. Like it tells you when you can do like a tech roll. Like it shows your window, like tech window or counter window or. There's another one too, but whatever it was, but it very briefly. So if you just kind of can have like on your peripheral eyes, like towards the bottom near your gauge, that you really don't pay attention to, but you kind of do, you'll see a little flash down there that gives you like that'll show your window, and those windows are tight, real tight. But all in all, I think it's good. But I would like maybe to play with somebody at some point.
Well, forums assemble.
So I have it. So if anyone wants to throw down,
I have it. You have it. Let's figure this out.
Yeah. Hey, you and I, we should game. Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing?
No, actually, that's it.
All right, Hannah, what you got?
Well, as mentioned earlier, I picked up a Vita this week because all the talk about PlayStation Plus being awesome, and then, I forget who emailed in last week and was talking about Guacamelee, but it kind of sold me on the whole system. So I went out Monday night and kind of got held up doing a couple other errands after I went and picked up my Vita, which is why I missed game night. But I mean, I got out of it. I ended up getting the 3G one, not at all for the 3G data because that's not the purpose of it at all. Yeah, but it comes with a year of PlayStation Plus, and I was going to buy that anyway, so it was kind of like, it's about the same price difference, I might as well just get this.
Yeah.
So, picked up the 3G Wi-Fi Vita, came with Gravity Rush, Uncharted Golden Abyss, Wipeout 2048, and Unit 13 because of the PlayStation Plus, and then since they're free this month, I got Disgaea 3, Tekken 6 for PSP, and Mega Man Maverick Hunter X for PSP, which all work on the Vita.
I just love, like, oh, I bought a Vita, and now I automatically have 8 games to play.
Yeah.
Hooray,
well, and,
hooray, PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, and then Guacamelee is just sitting there for $12, so I'm like, well, I'm going to buy that. That's going to happen.
Yeah, might as well put it on the memory stick right now.
Yeah, and, almost beat it this week. I'm probably going to do that after the show. But I mean, this is just a really well put together system. I know you guys have talked it to death, but I mean, from the hardware to the software to the entire PlayStation Plus service, it's awesome. It's just a fantastic machine, and it kind of sucks that it hasn't gotten the attention it deserves.
I feel like it's starting to now because I think people are finally. I think when you start talking about like console manufacturers giving you free games, everybody's like,
I'm jumping on that.
Yeah, come on, that's a funny joke. But I think now finally, like, what are we, 6 months, maybe almost a year into PlayStation Plus? I think people are finally like, no, man, you actually get really good games if you pay. You're basically paying the price of one game a year, and you're getting hundreds of dollars worth of games for 2 consoles.
Disgaea 3 alone is entirely worth it because, as we all know, the Disgaea games are basically never-ending.
Yeah, it's a million hours.
Yeah. But I think the thing that could push it over the edge is, I don't know if they've announced anything or not as far as PS4 and like remote play, but if they end up making that just a standard feature with all games, it's going to send Vita purchase numbers skyrocketing.
Well, yeah, they talked about that during the conference with that... what was that new platforming game that they were showing with that little robot? But they were showing it. They showed that on stage where they were like, "Yeah, we were just playing it over on the PS4, and now I'm just playing remote play on the Vita, and it's just happening." Basically what Nintendo did with the Wii U, which is great.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I'm kind of bummed about is the short list for PS3 remote play titles is very, very short.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing.
And for some reason, Lair is one of them.
Yeah.
And I have a copy that's sitting around, so I'm like, okay, well, hey, I wanted to test it, see if it worked, and it did. And I was like, well, I haven't really looked at the list. Let's pop in Metal Gear Solid 4, and it was just like a hard no, not happening. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really weird, but yeah, I agree with you. If they can make that not really required, but heavily suggested that if you're making a PS4 game, give it remote play with Vita, then
or all they really have to do is reserve some system resources for video encoding, and they won't even have to. It'll just be enabled automatically on every game because that's all it's doing is encoding the video and streaming it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's really one of the biggest things that'll push it over the edge. I do love that I just didn't get a system with this. I just got a game collection and a machine to play them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I love about cross-buy, too. Like, you buy the game once. Like, I was thinking about, well, I'll buy Guacamelee and I'll play it on my PS3 because I've got a big TV and maybe I'll try it on Vita eventually. And once I played it on the Vita, I was like, no, I'm good, thank you. I'll stay here.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm really loving the Vita. I can't wait to dive into Disgaea and never play anything else ever again. But as on, so I've been finished up a little more Alpha Protocol, and I just got out of Rome, and that was interesting because I went with I think the last time I went to go save what's her face, and this time I didn't, and that was interesting.
Yeah,
because I didn't realize it would go down that way. I thought there might be a little window for me then. No.
And that's what I love about Alpha Protocol. is you made a decision and you have to stick with it. Like most games would be like, oh, in the end you totally have enough time. Alpha Protocol's like, what? No, you had two choices. You made one.
Yeah.
No, it's not even close. Because if I remember right, when you go to disarm the bomb, that other side, it goes off. Like you're like, boom. Oh well, sorry.
Yeah, like almost immediately, the door closes, and it's like, nope, you're good.
Yeah, well, actually, once you make the decision, it's like, hey, the door to the other wing just sealed itself.
Yep.
So,
yeah, it's really great. I don't think that game gets enough credit for doing it.
It really doesn't. And not all your decisions have immediate consequences either, which is another huge thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm really liking my character build right now, because last time I think I went with the gadget stuff so that I could do hacking and like lockpicking easier.
Yeah.
And pistols, and I went pistols again because I just wanted to kind of see what some of the other stuff was in the game. But I went pistols and stealth with a little bit of martial arts, and that is working out beautifully.
I tell you what, you're totally right, because I've been dumping all my points into martial arts recently, and man, does it get so much easier when you get swarmed.
Yeah.
It's just like spinning back kick that's knocking two dudes down at a time.
Oh,
it's
awesome.
Jeez.
Come at me, bro. So that's been really fun, and once you get to you don't even have to get max level in pistols. Once you're at the point where you can line up a crit in 1.5 seconds, that game's over. You don't have to do anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And now I'm throwing points into stealth, and I've got Shadow Operative at level 2. That's just broken.
Yeah, you're
just like
walking.
I'm invisible. Hi, I'm right here,
Yeah.
and you can still walk up to dudes and just kill them.
Yeah, it's
with
awesome.
with complete abandon.
Yeah.
But man, it is just nothing beats killing Russian mobsters with like just a pistol and an attitude. That's all I have right now. I don't even I have an assault rifle with me in the mission. I sold everything else. I sold all the submachine gun stuff. I sold all the shotgun stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even have it in in an inventory at this point.
Yeah, you don't need it at that point.
No.
Yeah, I just cleaned out everything so I can get the really heavy armor that's got an extra gadget slot that I can put. Like I have all ballistic, all 4 different types of ballistic covers. So my armor is at 80.
It's like halfway across the screen.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Wow.
I think I've got the I go the middle grade armor where it's got enough upgrade slots, but it's not quite the stealth armor, so I can still sneak. I can kind of it's the utility armor. You can do whichever way you want with it. Yeah. But man, I can't wait to get to that boss fight in Moscow. And you know which one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And that's going to be a real blast.
I can't wait. I am so looking forward to experiencing that again, because it's been so long since I've seen it. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I wish you had the mariachi, the cymbals on the side of your leg if it was too loud. A little ching every other step. You got a little ching, ching.
Yeah. But outside Alpha Protocol, last night I played some Soul Calibur 4 with some friends. Haven't busted that one out in a while, and I'm really rusty. My Valdo is very weak right now. But we got we had a couple matches. Like my buddy John's huge with Ivy, and I'm pretty decent with Valdo, but he was just wiping the floor with me. And my buddy Mike was also there, and he was he's just he'll play whatever. So we ended up doing okay. So the best part of Soul Calibur 4, in my opinion, was the character creation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the second best part. The best part is the fact that you can do random character generation from the character select screen.
What?
Because, so you go to the random, right? And there's random, and you just get a random character. And then there's auto custom male and auto custom female.
Oh man!
And it builds a custom character for you, and it just random pieces of clothing and armor, and then random moveset for one of the existing characters. And the only thing I wish it had was ability to save those generated characters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because the insanity that you see, the one fight we had was we both did me and John did a auto custom female, and we both got these kind of tiny looking women, but they both had Astaroth's moveset. That fight took 20 minutes because
Amazing.
we do best of 3.
Yeah.
And just Oh my god! It was just like I'm gonna. Oh no, you're gonna duck. Okay, all right. Well, let's. I'm gonna. Oh, we did the same move at the exact same time. Awesome.
Great.
And canceled each other out and just.
Oh
Oh
man.
god, it was utter insanity, and I forget how much fun that game is.
Yeah.
I was glad to see that I still had my saves up on the cloud, so I had the one character that I actually spent time creating available to me, and that was just a dude that looks like Shredder from the first TMNT movie with all those moveset.
Amazing.
Nice.
I'll have to see if I can get a picture of that and post it on the forums because it's I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that was that, and other than Guacamelee, that's all I've been playing.
My girlfriend and I have been playing a little bit more Borderlands 2, trying to finish up our second playthrough. We'd never finished True Vault Hunter mode with our main character, so we're going through that and I'm trying to kind of mainline us through that stuff because
Nice.
I don't want to play through it again. We're basically just power leveling at this point, trying to get up to 60. And it's real slow going because we're fighting dudes that are like level 40 something. We're getting about 1 experience per enemy. So
Wow.
I think we've just got to finish up second playthrough and go into third, and I'm sure that's where we'll get all of our experience.
Yeah.
Finished Bioshock Infinite.
Ooh.
Oh man, this game. My girlfriend and I were sitting on the couch and experiencing the ending.
Yeah.
I certainly won't spoil anything, so don't worry, anyone. But
Thank
it
you.
was just one string of us sort of looking at the screen, and going like, "Wait, what? Wait, what is that? Who? Huh?" For like the half an hour it took me to go through the rest of it, and just I don't even know where to begin. I love it. I guess I can begin there. Absolutely fantastic, and really took a chance and told a really, really interesting and complex story that games don't typically tell, because I don't think that the storytellers that are making games have a lot of faith in the gamer. And I think this game really puts a lot of faith on the gamer's shoulders and says, look, we're going to tell you a complex story. It's not really complicated, but it's complex.
Okay.
And we're going to expect you to sort of think about it. And, it sort of hey, dogs. It sort of encourages a second playthrough just to spend another playthrough sort of chewing over what the game tells you at the end of your first playthrough.
Yeah.
It's one of the things where you can sort of shine a light on a lot of events that happened now that you know why they happened or how they happened. Just absolutely fantastic in every way. And just I absolutely love it. I mean, it's going to be one of my top games this year, easily.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree that for me, like that whole ending just kind of ruined my momentum for gaming. Like I had to, like it really like threw this roadblock in my mind, like how I can't think of anything else other than how that ended.
Yeah. Well, like I was trying to play Borderlands 2 last night, and I sort of fired it up. Like after I played the game, I fired it up, and I was like, I don't really want to play this, man. So I like fired up Guacamelee, and I played a little bit, and I was like, I don't want to do this either. I just want to lay on the couch and I want to watch something. You know,
I did
like
the same thing for like a week. Thankfully, I had Red versus Blue to watch.
Yeah, it's just it's so impactful in a really positive way that it moves into your brain and sort of sits there for a little bit. And I would like to play back through it, and I think I would like to try 1999 mode to see how hard that is.
Yeah.
And it's just everything about it is really tight, and I really wish I could talk more about it. And I really wish my girlfriend had played the other Bioshock games before we had played that one.
Yeah.
Because it would have been...
Yeah, that moment.
It would have been interesting. I
Okay.
can't talk any more about it because it happens like literally right at the end.
Wow.
but it's so good.
With you, were you so like as vague as we possibly?
Sure.
I was surprised they didn't give any of that away.
No, that's why I really respect how they told that story. Is they held everything to the vest the entire game, while still telling you what's going on. Like if you look back at some of the early parts of that game, knowing what you know, it's clear what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's why I've sort of been chewing over the entire game, since I finished it, because I'm sort of like, oh, well, what about this happening? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's why. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And just really, it's really hard to tell that kind of story, and most storytellers that try fail, because there's always some plot hole, there's always some twist. Well, it's like, well, what about when they were doing this? And they're always like, oh, well, let me make up something real quick. But this game, it had all of its ducks in a row, and it went in to tell a really fascinating story, and it did it really well. And my girlfriend and I had a really good conversation after we finished up, where it's like, okay, trying to suss out what happened in the game, and well, I can't say that word, but basically what happened in the game and relative to the ending, and just sort of like trying to put all the pieces together. And we had a really great conversation about like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that happened, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. And we had a real, it's really interesting that both of us could experience that game at the same time while I was playing it, and we could have a fairly interesting conversation about the events of the game and what that meant.
The thing that I mean, I'm not saying it was upsetting on my point that not only did I not see what happened coming at all,
I didn't either.
But the vastness of how it tied an infinite number of threads into one bow, like that just blew my mind.
Yeah,
blew it like totally. Like at that back half there, I was like, I cannot even.
Yeah, we're
like I was dumbfounded to the point where I like to think I'm relatively smart and clever, that I should have figured that out, and it gave you all the tools to do it.
Yeah.
But it just you couldn't pull the pieces together.
Yeah, we are getting very, very close to spoiler territory, so I'm going to sort of cut our conversation here since the game's only like 2 weeks old.
Yeah, I'm going to have to blast through that this week, because, man, you guys have just got me way more excited for that.
Yeah, and my recommendation, honestly, is play it on easy.
Yeah,
I already...
The shooting doesn't matter, and the end. If some of the firefights that happen near the end, if I would have played it on a more difficulty, I probably would have lost my poops a little bit.
The thing with the Zeppelin at the end was infuriating.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And on
normal was a nightmare.
Yeah, on easy it was incredibly infuriating. There's just some parts where I think it assumes you know more about the environment than you really do know.
Okay.
Because it's sort of trying to rush you through it, and it's like, well, do this thing. And it's like, I don't know what that means.
How do you do that?
Yeah, like what, where? You know, like. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Everybody, if you're gonna, I absolutely recommend this game for anybody. It's the same like with BioShock 1.
Yeah.
Where after they tell you what you were supposed to figure out in the game, you sort of want to play through it again. It's the same sort of storytelling that the first BioShock had, where just you have to play this game and absolutely play it on easy, because the difficulty doesn't really matter, and just absorb everything the game is trying to tell you, because it's trying to tell you a good story for once in a shooter. So but moving on so we don't spoil anything. Started up SMT Devil Summoner Soul Hackers for 3DS. And I'm very, like, maybe a half an hour through this game. I really forgot how much I loved mid-90s Japanese cyberpunk. I'm talking about, like, the Ghost in the Shell movie style, some of the Ghost in the Shell TV show stuff. Like, just there's something about mid-90s Japanese cyberpunk, especially the Japanese cyberpunk, that's just...
Is there a dude that has the little round glasses in this? It has to be.
I haven't met
There
him
has
yet.
to be.
I haven't met him
Shadowrun
yet,
style?
but I know there is one in there. You know, the sort of warehouse 13.
With the flat top. He always has a flat top.
I don't know if he does on this one, but I just... There's something about that aesthetic that I really, really, really love. And just... There's a little bit of... steampunk in there too, with some of the so basically the whole thing about the city is there's this giant city whose name I don't remember yet, and they're trying to digitize everything from within the city, and as part of digitizing that, there's this whole online world, this virtual reality online world that the main character, you as the main character at the beginning, hack into the beta applications to give yourself a spot.
Is it Oz?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, this game is, over a decade old. It came out for the Saturn originally.
Oh, wow.
So, this was a precursor to a lot of that stuff. But, it does have a lot of themes, like something like Summer Wars, which, by the way, if anybody hasn't watched Summer Wars, you really need to. It's one of the best anime movies you can watch. And watch it on Blu-ray. It's beautiful in 1080.
Okay.
Absolutely gorgeous.
But it's really interesting to see what what somebody thought that the future of online communities would be like, because it's basically this first-person perspective virtual reality world, but they still have like message boards in them. They still have like chat channels and chat lobbies in them. It's really interesting. I really, really want to play it, but I'm unfortunately might have to shelve it because not only is SMT4 coming around the corner, which I'd rather play more, but I have like 8 other 3DS games that I need to play. I basically need to stop playing my consoles and start playing my handhelds, because I think we've moved into the point where I've got Entering Odyssey 4, I've got SMT4 is coming up, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D comes out in a month, which I need to play because there's no more dumb waggle to roll anymore. Luigi's Mansion 2, I'm only a little bit away through that, and that's great. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff in the Vita that I haven't played yet at all, so I need to... now I'm done with Bioshock Infinite, I can kind of put aside everything else. I can get back to Kingdoms of Amalur later, whatever. Game isn't going anywhere. So that game, Soul Hacker, seems really interesting. It seems like a game that I would probably really get into from a storyline perspective once I start diving into it. But I don't know if I really have the time to do that right now. And the last game I played this week is something I sort of squeezed in here while we were waiting to start the show. A game that was recently greenlighted on Steamlight called Papers, Please. It's a really, really interesting game where you are a passport checker on a line, one of those checkpoints coming into a country, and it's all fake country stuff, but it's a game that reminds me of a lot of stuff that Bullfrog was doing back in the 90s, where it's a lot of seemingly straightforward and simple stuff that maybe you didn't think was really interesting, and it's basically you call someone up to the line, you say papers please, and they turn over their passport and whatever pertinent documentation comes along with it. And basically, you need to approve or deny them to come in the country. And this game is totally free, so if this sounds at all interesting, just go get it. The beta is free, and you can do like 9 days in it. And basically, it starts off at the beginning, and it's just, is this person allowed to come in the country? Are they a citizen? Do they have a passport? A binary yes or no. And then eventually gets into, well, do they have a work permit? And you can call out discrepancies between their stuff. It's like, well, if this passport has this ID number on it, and the paper that says they're allowed to work in the country has this different ID. You need to call it. You need to highlight the two of them, and then ask the person, "Hey, your paperwork doesn't match up. What's going on?" Eventually, you get into some some body scanning stuff, trying to see if people are coming in with weapons, like really, really interesting stuff that sounds sort of weird, but where it comes into being a bit more gamey is you have a time frame per day. So not only do you have to get these people through the line, but you have to get them through faster because you're getting per person. And when you go back at the end of the day, you have your mother-in-law, your wife, your son, and your uncle that are living with you, and they all have different needs that need to be met at the end of the day. Like if your kid gets sick, that's $10 a day to get a medicine. Like you have to pay like $5 a day to keep your heat on, $10 a day to get your food, and that stuff. And if you screw up at work, they start every time you screw up past your first 2 warnings, you get $10 taken away from you, and you only make $5 per person.
Sounds like INS workforce training.
I mean, what this guy is, I think what this guy is trying to do by making this game is not only make a game that's surprisingly fun, but trying to say something about,
about immigration.
About immigration, which is really interesting. And it's that sort of thing where I played through it and I got to the end of the beta, which was day 9, and it said, "All right, we're all done. This is the end of the beta. You can play again." And I was like, "Yep, I'll do that right away. Thanks."
Nice.
So super promising. Thankfully, it's been greenlit on Steam, so whenever that comes out on Steam, I'm going to purchase that to help push along development. You can also get your name in the game, so you can register to get your name as one of the names on some of the passports, which is super cool. So of course I did that.
Very nice.
But yeah, I highly recommend it, even if you don't care about the what the game is trying to say standpoint. It's a really surprisingly fun game that sort of you can sort of say that maybe it's just like a hidden image game at that point, but there's really something about the management of that stuff that's really good. So everybody needs to go buy it. Just Google Papers, Please, and it'll come up. It's just a dude site, and it's just a zip file, and it's just Windows or OS 10. Nothing crazy to install, nothing crazy to run. So highly encouraged. And that's all I've been playing, so let's take a break. Hannah, are we friends on PlayStation Network?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think if I saw you in my list of... Because one of my favorite things on the Vita is going into firing up a game and then seeing your friends' activity below there. I love seeing,
scroll down.
Yeah, I love seeing like that game's wall, basically, where it's like, oh, this person just started playing Guacamelee, and I can go in there and be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, this person just bought Guacamelee. It's like, really? They
like
noticed that? I'm like, wow.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
You're Janston on there, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, just in case everyone wondering what I smelled, it was wild oregano, a pure essential oil.
Oh God, that's gonna get hot in your nose.
That was pungent.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do it.
Good Lord.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, friend request sent. And I'm gonna go get a drink.
See, I sent you a friend request.
Yes, I accepted.
Good.
I'll be right back.
So, am I sitting here by myself? I guess. Good time for a bathroom. Oh. Good. No. Okay, stop. Stop it. Stop it. Get out of there. Here.
Oh man.
What are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? Ah. 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 Why are you so wild?
Okay. Look at all these people in chat today. How's it going?
Yeah. Looks like we picked up some of Monaco's viewers as well.
Hey, alright.
Yeah.
Alright, do I still have show notes open?
Why does your breath smell like death?
I ate my own poop.
Huh? What are you eating? You eating dead animals? Little fucker.
Alright. Let's see.
You're fucking crazy, you know that?
Oh yeah, I only have one news story this week.
Oh, wow. What do we got?
Just
Oh.
Nintendo Direct.
Oh, it's a pretty huge one, though.
Yeah.
Well, unless Hannah can ventriloquistly chew, I think Boston's back.
I am. Hello. Alright, I'm ready to start when you guys are.
Yep.
Alright, let's get this shindig going. Alright. Let's see what I have. Okay. I am very much enjoying Windows 8 on a tablet.
Nice.
Me too. I like Windows 8 on both tablets and desktop.
I haven't played around with it on a desktop too much, but I really do enjoy just flipping through things that are open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
need
feel
to,
faster with Windows 8 on desktop because I can hit the start button on the keyboard, just start typing something, and rock onto it.
Yeah. I need to get an upgrade to my workstation at work before I can even consider Windows 8.
Yeah, I mean, for me, since I'm starting to manage Windows Server 2012 servers, I sort of have to run Windows 8.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a requirement. I mean, if it's good and I like it, but I know it's not that big of an upgrade.
Yeah. Well, no, I just have a lot of weird stuff on my. I got like a slapped together workstation at work, so
Yeah.
it's like, here's what we found. Have it.
Yeah.
I cannot get over how the people of Boston can keep voting for Mayor Menino. I just don't understand it. The man cannot communicate.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. No clue.
I've never seen a public official fumblefuck his way through words like that, man. It just like makes up words in the middle. Like, I thought I was bad when I tried to talk too fast, but it's just, ugh.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Indeed.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases. this week in downloadable games. God Mode for XBLA and Steam is 800 points and $10 respectively.
That's such a weird looking game.
Yeah, there was some talk on the forums about Steam Game Night maybe trying that one out. So
yeah, is this crazy like multiplayer only third-person shooter where you're fighting mythological creatures, but you're like a modern-day dude shooting skeletons and stuff? Like it's really weird.
what is this?
I
Quake?
tell you what was pretty cool. Have you played the Avatar first-person shooter game?
No.
Avatar Deathmatch. It is kind of fun.
Oh no.
You start off your base gun's like a Gatling gun that shoots like Nerf pellets, and the shotgun just like a push of pellets, like the little Nerf things. They all have that really cool like thoop noise to it.
Oh wow.
Nice.
And it's got little. It's just old school shooter fun with your avatars.
That's
it's
kind of neat.
ridiculous.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, we should all get together and play. It's a blast.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's on the indie games, but that's neither here nor there. Sacred Citadel for XBLA and PSN is 1,200 points and or $15.
This one's actually pretty cool looking. It's a like a classic side-scrolling beat 'em up set in the Sacred universe, like Sacred 1 to 2. Those
Oh,
okay.
those like
oh yeah, I
top-down
know which ones you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah, beautiful art style. Really,
Yeah.
really cool stuff that they made.
Dragon Fantasy Book 1 is a PSN cross buy for $10. Point made.
Its description said, "Would you like to play an all-new old RPG? Buy Dragon Fantasy Book 1." I was like,
Yep.
okay, what?
Mad Dog 2 Lost Gold for PSN. That is $8.
I never knew there was a sequel to Mad Dog McCree.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, it's Mad Dog McCree 2.
Wow.
kidding.
Gun game.
Very nice.
Fantastic. PS2 Classics RPG Maker 3 for $10. Overlord Raising Hell is on Good Old Games for $10.
That's Overlord and Raising Hell.
Both of them?
Yeah, the two
Okay.
together. If anybody hasn't played the first Overlord, it's really good. It's pretty much
Yeah.
like Evil Pikmin.
Yeah.
And it's really, really well put together. If anybody's worried about all the BS problems that it first came out with, those have all been patched out. Game's not a problem anymore. I know I didn't enjoy Overlord 2, but I know a lot of other people do, and both of them are super cheap now.
It was more of the same, but Overlord 2 was just like, wow, this is really fun.
Yeah.
And your little minions are my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
They're really funny.
Yeah. For $10, you get Overlord 1, which is great, and its expansion, which is just more great stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'll have to go back to that because I think after XCOM I'll have a bit more of a taste for that sort of game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yes, you will. U.S. release for the week of April 22nd, 2013. Lego City Undercover, The Chase Begins for the Thirds.
I'm probably going to pick this up. I mean,
yeah.
like, having an open world Lego game on the 3DS sounds like a pretty good game to just sort of play for half an hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can stand behind that. Dead Island Riptide finally comes out for the 360, PS3, and PC.
Don't
Yeah, but it's just kind of puts me in a mindset that the more I see of Blood Dragon for Far Cry 3, the more I want to see what this is.
Yeah. The thing, honestly, the only thing that if in Riptide they took out, and I haven't investigated it too much, if they took out weapon durability, I would play the hell out of that game with
Yes.
3 other friends. But
Yeah.
just the balance of that stuff was just way too harsh.
Yeah. Now, that stuff like how do you break a lead pipe? It's
Just
a
make
pipe.
it, and honestly, if you say we want to make a 4-player co-op open world mission-based zombie beat 'em up game that's loot driven, you have all of my money, and then just screw it up.
I don't know how they messed that up, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really did.
It sucks because the marketing was so good.
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen for PS3 and 360. We had a little conversation about that earlier, because we're not really sure exactly what it is.
Is
but
it an expansion
we still
pack? Is
want
it another
Is it a
game?
standalone?
Who knows? Buy and find out.
Yes, it is. Star Trek for the PS3, 360, and PC.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
that's
That's a thing.
That's a movie game.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Guilty Gear Double Zex Accent Core Plus R for the PlayStation Vita.
Because
That
it's
just
so
kept
long.
going on and on.
Every time they put it out again, they put another word in it.
Yes, they
Or
do.
now they're to the point where they're just letters now.
Yeah, I mean, next we're gonna get Accent Core plus Q. Why
Right,
not?
RSV 2360.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever been curious about Guilty Gear, this is the next version of that, and it's the next version of the best game they've put out.
Yes.
So if you want to figure out where to start, just start here, and it'll look beautiful on the Vita. Beautiful.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to get me that for my birthday, it's right around the corner.
There you go.
Easy,
All right, let's move on
easy
to
cowboy.
news stories. The only news story that we have this month is a Nintendo Direct for April 2013, which continues to be the smartest thing that Nintendo is doing. So they were talking about Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Showed some more footage of that. That's that really cool. I think it's coming out on Wii U. It's either Wii U or 3DS. It's basically Mario goes into Luigi's dreams. No, it's 3DS because I don't know. It doesn't matter. Basically, when you do it on the other screen, what you do on the other screen affects the world. You know, like you rub a feather on his nose, he sneezes, and it affects his dream world. Like there's a big typhoon that swirls through.
Oh,
Really,
wow.
really cool sounding stuff.
Yeah.
New Super Luigi U, 82 new levels for New Super Mario Bros. Wii U that are apparently supposed to be tough.
Nice.
And the
What
same,
an awful name.
yeah, it just really they're doing this whole like month of Luigi, so they're trying to be cute about it. Mario Garf World
Garf?
Tour, brand new sequel for 3DS, which sounds awesome. Apparently, it's going to be fully multiplayer this time.
Nice.
So I'm going to have to go buy that.
Yeah.
New Mario Party game announced for the 3DS, not for the Wii U, which is
That's
interesting.
That's odd.
Yeah, but I guess if you're going to make it, probably what would be really great about that game is being able to get a bunch of people together in the same room with 3DSs and play it like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the likelihood of that happening in the US is.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Zelda Force Words.
Yeah, God, that game was good, but man,
Yeah.
that was a bad idea.
Trying to coordinate that's probably easier to organize a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yeah, we coordinated it once, and man, that game was fun, but that was about it. Just like we coordinated once an 8-player Mario Party game, and that was a disaster.
I always wanted to do that with Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles as well on the Cube.
Yeah, we did that too, and that was... You don't make friends by playing Crystal Chronicles together. A new Yoshi's Island was announced for 3DS, which looks great. I mean, why can't go wrong with more Yoshi's Island. Mario and Donkey Kong Minis on the Move is coming out for 3DS eShop May 9th, which more of Mario and Donkey Kong, which can't be a bad thing.
Yeah.
What's the next one? Oh, a new Legend of Zelda game coming out for 3DS, and for once,
Ooh.
it's not a bad one because it's a sequel to A Link to the Past, otherwise
Ooh.
known as the best Zelda game.
Yeah.
So holy crap, that's amazing.
Yeah, I saw something online where they took some screenshots and kind of stitched them together and were like, yeah, this is the exact same world.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's-
it lined up exactly with the old map.
Yeah, a really, really cool looking stuff. Really great to have another handheld Zelda game, which are some of the best, that isn't the stupid Spirit Track stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff blows. Earthbound is coming to the Wii U Virtual Console. Hooray!
Mm-hmm.
Now we can play it legally without having to spend $500 on a cart.
Yep.
So, for me, that's another reason to buy a Wii U, because I've never played this game, and I'd love to play Mother 3, but I've never played Earthbound, so just hopefully the Wii U price comes down a little bit soon, because I also need to buy another PS3.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, it's getting a little loud.
Okay.
And it's a launch 60 gig. So I'm sort of like, well, maybe it's time for you to go off into the great beyond here, little buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can get one of those new ones that's like a quarter of the size of my PS3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of smaller stories here, so let me sort of bust through the rest of these. Pikmin 3 has winged Pikmin in it. That's the new unit they announced, coming August 4th to the US. Game & Wario primarily uses the Wii U gamepad. There's something weird that they were saying in the presentation about, like, play games on your Wii U gamepad, and when you turn it on, when your mom turns on the TV, make it look like you're sleeping in your room or something. I do not understand. Japan, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing New Leaf is getting a 3DS bundle in the US. It's like $200. Looks pretty great.
Nice.
My favorite announcement of this thing, Bravely Default, is coming to the US in 2014, coming to Europe in 2013. Thankfully, they dropped the other two words from the game's title, so it's not Bravely Default Flying Fairy anymore, because that game was not going to sell.
No, it wasn't.
I'm genuinely surprised this game is coming out here. I never thought that it would. Super pumped. Professor Layton and the Ozrin Legacy is apparently the last game in the second Layton trilogy, coming to the US at some point.
Ooh.
And Shin Megami Tensei 4, they finally announced the limited edition stuff. Basically, the first run of the game is going to have this giant instruction manual / strategy guide, and come in this big case and have a soundtrack with it and all that stuff. So the very first print run of that will be all that stuff, and then the other print runs of that won't have it in it. That's coming out July 16th. So hooray! And that's all the news stories that I had for this week. Not a lot of other exciting or interesting things. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take a
Nintendo
break.
doing work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your thing.
Once.
Let's take a break.
Peeling back the curtain.
I'm gonna eat more chips.
Will you stop licking the carpet? Jeez. All you need is lippy, smacky noises all the time. You can't possibly need this much attention.
Hey, Nintendo give me an update up. All right.
Ooh. Very nice.
Fan favorite Nintendo.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The Hannah episode 286, 414, 23 has been deleted.
Yep.
Yeah, I just removed your guys' last week's stuff.
Oh.
Sweet.
So we are 287.
Indeed.
287. Haha. MDK.
Ho ho.
Boom boom.
Video games.
Indeed.
Okay. I guess we should move on to the next segment here. So feed my face.
Yeah, it's Snackcast over there.
I'm so hungry. It's like, what, 3:30? Yeah, 3:30.
Yeah, 5:30, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Hey, I ordered two Cur sandwiches, and I got 3 today.
Ooh.
Nice.
Always good.
Very nice.
Alright. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, starting in 3. Oh, for anybody that is in chat, we're going to do the question segment. So if you want to post some questions in chat, we'll wind them in here into the episode.
Totally.
Alright. 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about tweets.
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 Sean C, aka I can't read all your username and Twitter, writes us 2 questions. Do you guys think Microsoft will try and score an exclusive deal with BioShock for Mass Effect 4, whether it be timed or untimed? Probably not.
Nah.
I don't think. I think after Mass Effect 3, I don't think the same level of interest is there from Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
I think when Mass Effect 1 was getting teased, everyone was looking at it and be like, hell yeah, space RPG, what BioWare? And now if you look, how many years is it? 7, 8 years later? I think when you start looking at people if somebody announces Mass Effect 4, everyone goes, okay, I'll wait and see. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to be, you know, BioWare isn't the same name it used to be. Mass Effect isn't the same name it used to be. Dragon Age isn't the same name it used to be. So I think if you look at nailing down a console exclusive for the next Xbox, I think they're probably looking somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer, but I don't think that's money well spent. Giving Internet Chat brings up the good point. BioWare isn't even the same people anymore. That's a fair point. You know,
that's a very good point.
Yeah. And his other question is: Bethesda recently showed a 6-second teaser trailer. Do you believe it will be the next Fallout, or do you believe it'll be a new IP? They said something about it being a new IP, I think, because they basically said like, "Yeah, man, we're sick of working on," because they had just wrapped up all development on Skyrim.
Yes.
And I think that's the same time they're probably also saying like, "Hey, let's just work on something new."
Yeah. They even denied that it was Fallout on their Twitter account. So.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully they'll pick up the mantle of the space RPG.
Ho ho!
Someone has to.
Let's do it. Next tweet here is from Gibbinator. He says, "Have you ever quit playing a game for moral reasons like that one guy in BioShock Infinite did?" I can't think of a reason. I can't think of any game that I quit for. I don't think I very rarely quit any sort of media for moral reasons, because I'm always interested in either a different take on something or somebody challenging some sort of thoughts or some sort of beliefs. I really value that in media.
Yeah, I agree entirely.
And I got sort of I got sort of upset. I'm just gonna say it, with the dude who wanted his money back for BioShock Infinite. I don't
even know that story.
Okay, so I really don't want to talk about religion. Let's say that out front.
Okay.
But this guy asked for his money back from Steam, from Valve, for BioShock Infinite, because at the beginning of BioShock Infinite, you basically are forced to receive baptism to get into Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And why I thought that was interesting is because Columbia, from a moral standpoint, is very corrupted. And I think it's the forceful baptism, I think, was a really interesting point of showing how corrupted and how backwards they are, taking this religious sacrament and requiring it to gain entry into this utopia.
Yeah.
The gamer that asked for the money back said that they were a hardcore religious, I don't know if it's Catholic, Christian, whatever, say they were very religious, and that it offended them and it offended their religious sensibilities, which I absolutely respect. But I think that when you look at a challenging piece of work like BioShock Infinite, I think you sort of have to roll with the punches at a certain level. I'm sure a lot of people, I myself, I wouldn't consider myself a racist, but it's interesting playing through that game to see that how nasty racism both used to be and still is. Especially during that time frame. You're talking about a game that's happening in 1912. There's going to be a lot of racism, and there's going to be a lot of forced religion, because that's how things were. And at that time, that's how things are, quote unquote. So while I disagree with that individual's choice, I think it's really interesting that it's a powerful enough story in this medium that it elicited such a reaction from that person saying like, no, I can't, I have to bow out on this. I can't be part of this. So I think that's really interesting.
Surprising.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting simply because it wasn't offended by, like, a lot of people, even back in the day, were offended by Mortal Kombat or Doom because it was bloody or violent.
Yeah.
This was an actual story moment in a game that triggered this reaction.
Yeah, he's offended by how they've portrayed his religion in a game, which is really interesting. Because usually it's just, I don't know, Christianity, I don't know, we're killing God in an RPG, hooray, like that sort of that sort of standard, like, I guess we need some reason why we're doing something. So I thought that was really interesting, but I can't think of a reason, I can't think of a piece of media that I have I have bowed out of because it's offended, my morals. I've bowed out of books because, they've hit a twist in the story that's BS, and or I get bored and I peter out of it. I've backed out of movies because it's dumb. I backed out of I walked out of the theater watching Magnolia, the movie, not because it said something about the Bible, but because it was a boring piece of crap. I want to be challenged by the media that surrounds me.
Yes.
But I absolutely respect people that don't. So.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I understand why someone could be offended by that. I will occasionally go out of my way to not be offended just so I can experience something.
Yeah, to really challenge.
Challenge yourself. Kind of the point of Medium, and Medium is their vehicle for storytelling, and if you're not okay with that, then don't play it.
Yeah.
I just find that, especially on that aspect, that is such a seminal moment in, at least what I believe in Christian society, is you get baptized.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
a pretty huge deal.
That was kind of a big deal, and I don't see how early in that game could that offend somebody.
Well, I think
that just blows my mind.
I think because they're sort of perverting it as an entry into this utopia, where it's.
But isn't that the entry into Christianity?
Well, no, you know what I mean, though.
I know what you're saying. I don't want to get into this because I will go down this rabbit hole way too deep.
I know we want to challenge it, and that's not the podcast we are, but it's definitely really interesting that a game can elicit. I think that Hannah's right. I think it's really interesting that the game can elicit something from somebody that isn't violence and isn't nudity.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, boobs in my game. Come on.
I think that's really a sign of games starting to come into their own as a medium for storytelling, and not just for a select group of people.
Right.
It used to be that back in the day, like, you play RPGs because of the story, and everyone else plays something else because of something else.
Right.
Now it's you play games because they tell a story.
Yeah. PFlux asks a really interesting question here in chat, not to keep extending this conversation. He says, but at the same time, they didn't know what they were getting into, so how could they avoid the title if they didn't know what was going to happen? I think that's a fair point. And I think at that point, I think it's absolutely reasonable for Valve to give them a refund, because especially something so story-driven like a BioShock game, after you've played BioShock 1, you're not going to you're gonna black out for any story stuff for any future BioShock game. So I wouldn't expect anybody. I think it's fair to not expect somebody to go in, and I hope nobody got that from my comments that, oh, you should have known this was going to happen. But if you are offended by that, I would say either try to put it in the time frame and try to put it what story they're trying to tell. And if you still find yourself offended, you're more than free to take umbrage with a piece of media. So not everything is for everyone. You can't make everyone happy. So
yeah.
All right, moving on to emails here.
Emails.
First one from Salad. It says,
well, go for it, Caesar.
Yeah, let's do it. This is a bit of a longer one. So he says, hello TVGP, I need a gamer recommendation, so please bear with me on this one. I love all game types, but I've always really been drawn to fighter/brawler and action games. He says, parenthetically, Bruce Lee got me addicted to kicking butts. What can I say?
Nice.
I don't play too many RPGs, mainly because I have a difficult time finding ones that really capture and keep my interest. All I had was a Super NES, didn't get any other console until PS2 came out. First RPG I played ever was Chrono Trigger, and it absolutely amazed me, because it's one of the best. Oh, yeah. I was about 9 or 10 at the time, and I'd never before been so emotionally invested in a game's story and its characters. To this day, it's still one of my favorite games. I can sit down and play through hundreds of times and still want more. I also still pop in my PS2 game, Disgaea Hour of Darkness, and that one really impressed me.
Yeah.
The first Disgaea is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, and P-Flux, sorry, I referred to P-Flux as a he, and she's a she. My apologies. So I've really been trying to go back and check out the other legendary RPGs I missed when I was younger, like Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy III. I just got Zelda Link to the Past for $25 on eBay. I'm very excited to finally discover this game because it's always up there with Chrono Trigger as one of the best Super NES games.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Without question.
So my question is, are there any RPGs that came out in the last few years that are considered, at least in your opinions, to be that high caliber game I'm seeking out? Thanks for your time. Your views are much appreciated. So first off, I'm going to forward this on to Pup. So Musum and I can talk about it on that show too, so we can talk a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
But I'd say probably a lot of the RPGs that the three of us have talked about on this show as being great in this gen, like Lost Odyssey,
Tales of
Vesperia. Tales of Vesperia is really good. If you want something a little bit more Western, pick up Fallout 3. You can get that super cheap on PC nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. I don't think I've played anything that's really great on Vita, but if you have a Vita, you can play PSP games. So start picking up stuff like Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. I think all three of those are... I think as much as people hate Final Fantasy 8, and I sort of go back and forth on it, I really would recommend, if you've never played it, at least try playing it once. Read like a getting started guide to begin with to figure out how to break that game. Minako writes on the chat, Tales of Grace's F for the PS3. Haven't played that. She brings up a good point, Ni no Kuni for the PS3. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That game is really well made.
For the Wii, what was that one? Xenoblade.
Xenoblade Chronicles. That game is super good. Do you want to play a 100-hour RPG? That's really good. Pop that bad boy in.
I would say, from my experience, I would probably say Lost Odyssey is probably a big one for me because I'm not an RPG player, and I loved that game.
Yeah, KG3X in chat reminds us about Persona 4 Golden for Vita.
Yep.
Absolutely. The DS version of Chrono Trigger is really good. I don't know which version Salad had played, but that version is really good. Has a bunch of interesting added stuff.
Yeah. I would even say Fallout New Vegas because, in all honesty, after everything's said and done, I really liked that one more than Fallout 3. I think the writing was a lot better.
It's
and
an
just
Obsidian
the world
game, so.
felt less hopeless, and it was just more fun.
I'm going to put in a plug for myself here. Go check out Picking Up the Pixels, my other show. We spend a little bit of time in the first episode talking about games, RPGs that you should play if you want to get into RPGs. We spend a good amount of time at the end of that episode talking about that. So
yeah. And I would go so far as to recommend even the origination point for Pup as a whole, the podcast you did on the Carousel with Musim, because you guys went through 15 years of RPGs.
It's like 15, 20 years of RPGs, and we talk about all the RPGs we've played, but we also talk about for some of the bigger RPGs why they're important, why they were so big.
Yeah.
That's a good recommendation. Both of those. We have a tendency to maybe go a bit more in depth than maybe the Salad is looking for, but it's at least a good point to start because I know we've forgotten something.
Absolutely.
Go check those out.
We don't claim to have the best memories.
That's if anybody's listened to more than a couple episodes of the show, we do not. We have proven that. And the last email here that we have is from Dave, aka RoboPig. He says, "Hey guys, I want to let Knobs know that UT2K4 is currently $15 on Steam. I'll buy it if you will." I'm sure you already.
I already own 8 different copies of the game.
He says, or the UT collection is $40 with a bunch of games, which is probably a good price.
Yeah.
So, question related to that: is it at all malicious to buy and gift a game to friends as a means to guilt them into playing it with you? No.
No.
I've done
That's
it.
what the 4-packs are for.
Yeah, exactly. That's to buy a 4-pack, give it to all your friends, and say, "Hey, I just bought you a free game. How about we play it?"
Yeah.
Or else. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're getting your friends or your acquaintance is a free game, which everybody loves free games, and then you're saying, throw me a solid. I bought you a game. How about we play that game together?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing you're asking them to reciprocate is to have fun. So
it's
not really malicious.
Yeah,
I already fronted the money up front, so you're kind of in. Like how many times have I bought multiple copies of games I just give away? Like,
yeah.
He also asked a really interesting question, which is something that I didn't really think about. He says, have you ever wondered why Xbox Live doesn't have a gifting feature? He said, I heard Eve from Major Nelson's podcast say they tried it out, but quickly devolved into guys being gifted software by offering to post nude pictures of their girlfriends. So
really?
That's really weird, because I would have never thought of that, and that's kind of gross. But, like, I always really wished that there was a gifting feature, and that's part of the reason why it sort of stopped this show when we were doing a lot of giveaways, because I would buy stuff, or I would try to buy codes, and like you couldn't gift Amazon codes after a while, you couldn't gift points. Like I would love to be able to say like, hey, somebody, start us up a wiki, and I'll give you like 1,600 Microsoft points or something stupid like that. Or like, hey, I want somebody to play this game with me. I want like 3 friends to play that X-Men arcade game with me, and I shouldn't have to hound them to say like, "Hey, go buy this game." Yes, I know it's 1,200 points. Just go buy the game. I don't care if you don't have money. Just go spend them. I want to play this game with you instead of I'm gonna buy a 3-pack. Pick your 2 friends, this guy and this guy. Okay, let's play it.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of disappointing that the community of Xbox Live is the worst community of human beings that's ever been gathered on one platform, and that's what it devolved to in a testing environment.
That's amazing. I can't even fathom that. That's ridiculous.
That would have never been like, hey, you want a copy of Castle Crashers? Let me see your girlfriend. Like, that's never entered into my mind. You know, like, I don't... That's insane. So, yeah, thanks Xbox Live for ruining another great idea. Maybe that's why we don't have PSN Plus for Xbox Live, because it would just evolve into something horrible. Some goat sacrifices.
Like, I honestly can't say I'm that surprised.
Yeah.
You say you're that surprised? I'm not.
I had never thought of it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'd like that, but like I'd like Boston. Like I'm a dude. I mean, and that would never cross my mind to say, hey, I got such a copy of the game. What's up? Give some pics, dude.
Yeah. Like
I don't personally do it, never. But just like, I have an imagination for the depths of horribleness that humans can come up with.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't even cross my mind at any point. Like I was like, what? People do what?
I think 12-Gauge Slug in chat put it correctly. He said, I like boobs, but yeah, not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's all the questions we got. So if you want to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us at tvgpfans@gmail.com or tweet us at tvgp.
And join the forums. Mark yourselves on the map, and please come join us for Monday Night Game Night tonight at 10 p.m. EST. Get there early. We have a bunch of friends of the friends. So maybe get on, I know I check TVGP Friends every time we get on, just in case. There's always a couple spots available, so please come join us. It's a good time.
Yep.
And don't forget about TVGP Game Club. We're doing Alpha Protocol still, and it's awesome.
Still have like another week, 2 weeks, something like that?
Yeah, and it's pretty quick. Like, if you sit down and plow through it, you can probably get through it in a week. So
it's like a 10, 12-hour game. It's not super serious.
Yeah, and don't forget about Steam Game Night, which is Thursday nights, I think 7 or 8 Central. Check the forums for the official time. And
put in a plug earlier for it, but check out pickingupthepixels.com for the RPG show that Musim and I does, whatever.
It does.
I'm too tired. And Dynamic Soundtrack is still out there. DynamicSoundtrack.com. If you like video game music, I did a show for like a year and a half, something like that. And all that stuff is still out there, and it's free. But thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone. Oh, also twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. You can watch us live every Sunday, 1 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. Pacific. Come with us, chat. We had a super great conversation with a whole bunch of people this week. I'd love to see you more there. If you can't watch it live, not a problem. Hit that same URL for the archives, or go over to the YouTube channel. All those links are on the right-hand side of the page. See y'all next week. Peace.
Later.
I have 4 titles.
I got a few.
I wrote down a B
6.
for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
A B?
A B. Like, not didn't draw. I mean, literally, the letter
B.
B.
Oh, wow.
Huh. Weird. I have Archer Rampage.
I got that, too.
Put a boot on him.
Don't have that one.
A pistol and an attitude. And Gorf.
Gorf.
I have Mario Gorf.
Mario Gorf.
Yeah.
Oh, Gorf.
I just like somebody put it in chat as just Gorf, and I really like that because it sounds like an early '80s arcade game. It's like, oh man, I gotta hit the Gorf machine.
Oh my god, I was
Zork.
Oh, Boston. Yeah. So I was just at Ridge Plaza movie theater, and I remembered the Bad Dudes arcade cabinet right there when I walked in.
Oh man, it's still there?
No, it wasn't. But I was just saying, I used to play with my girlfriend. Like, dude, I used to play Bad Dudes right there. She's like, what?
Yeah, winners don't use drugs.
No, they don't. All right.
What do you got?
So I had Archer Rampage with 3 exclamation points. Nobody likes Aquaman.
It's true.
Mid-90s Japanese cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It always has a flat top. Is it Oz? Mario Gorf. You don't make friends by playing Crystal Chronicles together.
That's
and
true.
Go for it, Caesar.
What was the last one?
The last one was Go For It, Caesar, and your response to Salad.
I still really like just Gorf.
Just Gorf.
Yeah.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 287 for April 22nd, 2013. Gorf.
Lana!
Fourth!
Man, you peaked that mic something fierce.
Yeah, it's like 2 feet away from me.
Oh, good times. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on live stream. Super happy to have a ton of people in here this time.
Yeah.
Highest viewership we've had yet, so if you like what you see, we're here every weekend.
I think they were expecting me to dance.
Tune in next week to see if Knobs dances.
Yes, and every week after that.
See you, everyone.